This is Deborah Atkinson, and you're listening to Flipping 50, where I address your top questions and struggles. I share what to eat and how to move and how to think to get the energy and the vitality that you want in this second and better half. Today, we're talking menopause fitness, and really, I feel like I've been on a rant recently with very recent podcasts addressing menopause belly fat, for instance, and I really despise the connection that we're making when we label it and we tie those two things together or anything negative, and this is no exception. So the real title, Menopause Fitness, menopause is not a sickness. And I'm going to go in and elaborate a little bit more on even how I might be giving you the subliminal suggestion that there are signs and symptoms, because when do we talk about those other than when we're sick or ill? So I'm going to explain myself and come clean and let you know how we want to reframe this so that we can feel better and look better and not be thinking that we're in this I can't do anything about it, I'm a victim mentality. But before I do that, this episode is brought to you by Stronger, our series of strength training for women programs, the first and the only existing hormone balancing strength training programs for women in perimenopause, menopause, and beyond. I've designed them to include joint care, your energy needs, address adrenal fatigue, avoidance, or support if you've got it, bone density, metabolism boosting, all around hormones that occur during midlife. Enrollment is open right now as I record this live. It opens up a few times a year. And if you're listening to this when the programs are closed, you can be the first to be notified when they open again. And there's a significant savings for early bird registration. So visit flipping50.com/get stronger, or for cellulite specific programming, visit flipping50.com/get even stronger to be the first to know when the doors are open again. There's no obligation. You'll just get the announcement, and if the timing is right, you'll be in. So let's get something straight. There are signs and symptoms associated when you're not feeling your best. There are signs and symptoms that what you're doing right now isn't working. That is very different than accepting signs and symptoms of menopause as if they're to be expected when you go through menopause. It's not as if you have the flu or mono or food poisoning. How do you know you're in perimenopause? Some women are in perimenopause for a decade before they actually have gone 12 months without a period and are in menopause. The best way to know is to test your hormones. You'll know best if you've tested hormone levels when you feel great, but so many of us women only check under the hood when things aren't going well. So you may not have a well girl check to compare your now to. And let me just give you this. I test every 6 months if I'm changing my routine. For instance, I'm going on bioidentical hormones or I'm going off bioidentical hormones, which, by the way, I'm not on them right now. Haven't been for, about 18 months right now. And the reason is I tested. I tested before I went on them. I tested after I got off them. I tested 6 months later. No change. So I feel as if I've modified my lifestyle habits. I'm feeling good. I will know when I'm not feeling good, and maybe then it's time to retest, take a snapshot and see what can I do about this? Because I'm open to bioidentical hormones. I'm certainly not judgmental of anybody who's doing them or of anybody who's choosing not to and wanting to do it completely naturally with their lifestyle habits of exercise, nutrition, sleep, stress, dealing with that, but also adaptogens. Potentially it's some other complementary alternative medicine. But the point is, having a benchmark really helps. So if you're listening right now and you're feeling great, you may think, why would I ever go test now, right? Who needs to spend that time, spend that money, go through the hassle? For the reason that you don't want to be in a place 6 months later or a year from now thinking, oh, I wish I would have tested, because I know what normal looks like, and then I would know what my dropping levels or chaos looks like as well. The alternative to testing is to assume that you're gaining weight and you never have before, so it's perimenopause, or you're tired all the time and it's just perimenopause. It's hormones. And do you hear that sarcasm? That's not by accident. That's just making it okay to experience that and not find a new strategy. Those are definitely signs and symptoms, but they're signs and symptoms that you're due for a change, not necessarily the change. Changes in your exercise routine, the rest you allow between workouts, your nutrition, sleep habits, your awareness of your micronutrient levels, gut health, and how you deal with stress of all kinds are being suggested to you by your body. Now, I have to admit, and this is not throwing any client or student under the bus, however, I have worked with people and probably am one of those people who occasionally resist change. We really want to be the way we've been. We like the habits we have. We like the food we used to be able to eat. We enjoyed it. And we don't see any enjoyment in food changes we have to make, partially because we maybe haven't picked them. We haven't decided, we haven't been motivated to make those changes. We're instead being forced to make those changes, and therein lies the difference. But what you want to do is figure out from those signs and symptoms your body is telling you and sending you that you have an opportunity to change, and you can take it or not. But that's what signs and symptoms do. Those menopause symptoms, it isn't an illness, and it's often discussed like it's one. In fact, a chronic and fatal one that you can't do anything about. Oh, it's hormones. Oh, I wish I could sleep. I just can't. I've tried everything. Well, my answer to those things is really... Here's the truth about that or those statements. Instead of it meaning I've tried everything one at a time, I've stuck with it and tested it in isolation to consciously assess effects before moving on to the next thing, it means I've randomly tried one thing after another at the same time with other things or unique circumstance when I remember, and read every blog. I consulted Dr. Google and experts online that don't know me or my history. I've tried program after program, done them mostly, but I didn't believe in all of it or the science behind it, or there was none. So some things I left out, right? Do you hear all that? Random acts of fitness, of nutrition, or approaches to any habit change will get random results. So it's really not fair to say that you've tried everything, because although there may be a degree of truth to that, if you haven't tried everything in a step-by-step logical process so that you've eliminated what doesn't work truly because you can isolate it, we've got to go back and look again. Never is that more true than when you want specific answers to specific problem. A program of any kind that works for all ages, both genders, is not likely to work for a woman in midlife. Even two women in the middle of midlife changes can't follow a specific diet or exercise plan and get the same results. Now, they may both have pretty good results or really good results, but it's going to be at their own speed. It's going to happen differently. They're going to respond positively or negatively to different pieces of it. What you need is a blueprint, like those quizzes in junior high Tiger Beat. If this, then that. If yes, then, so that you get your right answer. So even if you used to do it or this sounds familiar, when I went through this program a couple years ago, I lost XYZ, but I've gained it back. Well, here's the truth, folks. It didn't actually work. You weren't in. It didn't work if it was temporary, right? You didn't have a lifestyle change. Something about your belief system, the way you believed in the program, the way you thought about it as either a temporary, this is too new, this is too diet-like, I haven't changed my mindset around it, something backfired. Lifestyle change means you're going to adapt a way of life that doesn't include drive-through and frozen dinners. You're actually not going to feel deprived, though, because you're not doing it. And, I deserve this at the end of the week or the day, because you know what you deserve is to feel better all the time. And throwing food or alcohol in, not sleeping well, or voting exercise out makes you feel worse, and you know that. Eating out is not the limiting factor in sticking with it. Willingness to be that person at your table who orders what she needs to feel good. The menu is just a suggestion. Let me give you an example. Literally right now as I record this, I am in Phoenix, Arizona for a TV appearance early tomorrow morning. I flew in this afternoon, and after a hike outside to get some sunshine in this delicious 80-degree weather, I went to the hotel restaurant and looked at the menu and said, okay, can I have the grilled salmon, the grilled wild salmon, because it tastes so much better, but I don't want the risotto. I just want the vegetables, and then can you double them instead of giving me the risotto? Well, the guy explained, blah, blah, blah. The vegetables are a part of the risotto. To me, it sounded frozen, but he said, what I can do is give you fresh vegetables instead. I said, yes, that please, double those. He said, well, that'll be extra. I was like, I get it. So you got to be willing to look at the menu, find what you need, order it, ask for it, and, don't settle. So there's no way I wanted to feel good with that risotto. And, you've got to be willing to say, this is a suggestion. Here's what I'm asking for. Here's what I need. Everything on a menu can be prepared void of the sauces or the marinades or foods you're trying to avoid if you ask or demand it. Order 2 sides of veggies, just like I did, and a simple protein source. It's doable. You are the customer, and you are certainly in charge of what goes in your body. Traveling is also not the limiting factor in sticking with it, with exercise. Willingness to get up 30 minutes earlier for an interval walk, a hotel room workout, or a gym workout is. Willingness to eat lightly at the airport with veggies and hummus or boiled eggs or maybe nuts and seeds depending on fat and your toleration for it. Why are you doing that? Are you on a diet? They'll ask. Those might be questions you get. Your answer? It's hormones. That's the time that answer is appropriate. It's the only time. It's not the catch-all phrase for I'm helpless, so I'm going to have 3 glasses of wine. Screw it. Right? But why not? Why can't we flip the tables? If it's okay to say, it's my hormones. That's why I've put on this weight, or I have this belly fat, or I can't sleep. Why not use it when you are making the right conscious choice for yourself. And don't worry about what others think. It's certainly like that meme. It's not any of your business what other people think. Signs and symptoms that your menopause fitness plan needs a change. Weight gain, belly fat weight gain, bloating or gas, constipation or diarrhea, sleeplessness, stress, brain fog, crushing fatigue, mood swings, increased intensity of existing depression or anxiety, cellulite, chronic or frequent injuries, hot flashes or night sweats. Let's circle back to the beginning of this post. The previous list is not signs and symptoms of menopause you just have to live with. They are signs and symptoms a body isn't happy with your current choices. So you've got to reframe your mind about what those things are. For better menopause fitness, you can change the type and the timing of your exercise. And by type, I mean the intensity. Low, moderate, high intensity. They're justified for different people at different times. You can change the type and the timing of your nutrition by the type, the quality, and food sensitivities. If you haven't tested, it's a good idea to test them. Sleep hygiene habits, your stress exposure, and your stress resilience. Rest intervals between sets of exercise, between same day exercise, between days of exercise, between different weeks and even months of exercise. You can change the way you cook. The number one thing you have to change if you want to change menopause fitness is your mindset. If you are trying it, whether that's a new nutrition program or it's a new exercise program, you're already forming a decision that there's probably a chance it won't work, and you're going to be able to cross it off the list at least for having tried it. The only way you win is by deciding you're going to make it a lifestyle change. You're not trying it, you're doing it. And anytime you try something, there's a 90% chance you're going to fail. You've already opened the door because you didn't say you're doing it. Because along the way of doing anything, you will fail. It's not just a step up, step up, step up, a linear progression. Nothing in life was probably like that. If you're married right now, happily married, the marriage probably hasn't been all bliss every single day since the wedding. Getting to the proposal and to the wedding probably wasn't all bliss. Just one example, if you are building a business, you are a manager, a director, a CEO, it's not all unicorns and rainbows, sunshine, just saying. It's all, if it's something worthwhile, there's growing pains. But why would we come to this conclusion that exercise or getting fit should be easy and it should work the first time? Because it won't. But if you throw in the towel and or reach for the chunky monkey in the back of the freezer that nobody else knows about because it didn't work or you had a bad day, you are not committed to making it work. Or only if that's the end, potentially, you're not committed. So you might have a fail. As long as you get back on the bandwagon tomorrow, you haven't failed completely. You haven't let yourself down. You've got to decide you're going to make a lifestyle change. You're in control of the journey. You'll stay on the course, not jumping from one program to the next until you get to the bottom of it. A program that doesn't work might reveal you have a deeper level problem. You could need to test for micronutrients, for instance, or take stronger measures to get a fix for a gut health issue. That's not failing. That's a logical sequence of doing everything you can with personal habits so that that need can show up In the end, whether you need additional supplements, you do or you don't do bioidentical hormones, or you need something to change your gut health, your personal habits are the foundation of it all working and what you'll come back to. You can feel good again. Can you get back to where I was before when I was in such good shape? You're not going back. You're going forward. So going back to what worked when you were 20, 10, or even 5 years ago won't work ever again. Yes, less exercise, but the right exercise will. More of the right foods will. You may need to reduce both exercise and your food intake for a short time to reset. You can have volume. You just need to allow your body to detox naturally and your liver, calling shots on fat storage, to function better before you can jump ahead. Trying to exercise more and more while eating less and less could be the very problem with your menopause fitness. Trainers and fitness blogs are ripe with the antiquated calorie deficit formula. It takes no consideration of hormone fluctuations and faulty processing of food. Exercise of today is often focused on science of yesterday, unfortunately. If you've got evidence it's not working in your menopause fitness approach, it's not your fault. The messages are everywhere telling you to do the very thing that may cause signs and symptoms. Need support with your menopause fitness? I'm often asked, what's the best way for me to get started here at Flipping 50? So here are the first steps. If you're not doing any of these or you've done some but it feels too random, you may want to look at another one here. The first steps would be subscribe to the Flipping 50 podcast right here. Subscribe to it on iTunes so you get it right to your phone. You can download it or you can just listen to it from there weekly. You won't miss an episode. Easy way to both get the ripe news. By that I mean based on what's literally topics that are literally in the news, based on experts right now who are coming out with national bestsellers that you want to hear, and learn what the newest programs at Flipping 50 are in case one resonates with you. Also, search other blogs here at Flipping 50 for topics that you want more of. When you're on the blog page, you can use the little search icon and type in whatever it may be: cellulite, belly fat, protein needs, and the articles and the blogs on the site that relate, including podcasts, will come up. Read You Still Got It, Girl. That's really the formula, the foundation for programs and for what else has come next, including, as I say, read. It's immediate in your inbox in digital form, by the way. Hot Not Bothered. Those are even more current and recent research since I wrote You Still Got It, Girl 5 years ago. But Hot Not Bothered is research that's come out since. They're quick little flips you can read in about 2 minutes and then put it down and pick it up as you need to. You can jump around to those Hot Not Bothered daily flips that are about exercise or about nutrition or about lifestyle habits if you're limited in your exercise time, for instance, and use it however suits you best. Watch Flipping 50 TV episodes. That's kind of the last one on the first steps to take here. You can also, when you're on an episode, do a search for topics, and either the Flipping 50 episodes, the blog, or the podcast episode will come up as they directly relate to what it is you're searching for. If you want to get right down to more consistent, progressive support beyond a random YouTube video, 5 minutes on a blog, or an episode of Flipping 50, then for more support, you want to choose a program so you can go from A to B to C logically, not jump around and get ideas, but actually get actionable steps so you can make your tomorrow's workout better. You want to get started with potentially an exercise program to act as a catalyst for your other steps, because for many of us, that is it. We may use exercise to negate our stress, but we also use it as a catalyst. So if we did that, we will make a better choice with our next meal and the next one. We will probably drink more water in that very same day. We will potentially walk the dog a little bit longer, even later that same day. So activity prompts more activity. If you want custom support, you don't have time to go through a program you're not sure you will simply because you bought it, coaching one-on-one may be for you, especially if you have a special situation and group programs are not the ideal for you. If you've gone through a program or you're in one currently, a fast flip coaching option is available to women that are in it right now or very recently just finished, because that allows me to do the accountability coaching with you and we jump right off of the foundation that you've got in the program that you just completed. So that's by invitation only. You've got to ask, so you can respond to support@flipping50.com. Let us know which program you were in that you're interested in upgrading to the fast flip, which is really just a small slice, but it still is private coaching. We connect for 90 days, you and I, for more transformation and more support. And if I spawned a question today, leave it below the show link at flipping50.com/podcast. I love hearing from you, and I would love to see you in one of the Stronger programs. Stronger 1 is really for you if you're getting started or restarted. We've had several people repeat it the second and the third time because the group camaraderie and the start and the end, there is a goal line. And Stronger 2 is a brand new program, also strength training, but it also incorporates 4 other steps, and it targets cellulite based on research, and it's proven. So if cellulite is your jam, or you really want a comprehensive program that has cardio and it has strength training in it, you can use the pieces however you wish. You don't have to be targeting cellulite, but that's who it's intended for. Both those programs are for someone who's appropriately conditioned to do them. And by that, I simply mean apparently healthy. So no special conditions. If you have a known knee issue and it's giving you quite a bit of limitations, or you've got a special condition, really severe arthritis, maybe fibromyalgia, special things going on, a program intended for a group is probably not the thing for you. And I just want to make sure, if you are perfect for the program, I absolutely want you in there. But if you're not perfect for the program, I don't want you in there. I don't want you frustrated. And we want to make sure we get you exactly what you do need. So if this episode was helpful, please leave a rating in iTunes and then share it with a friend. Surround yourself with a supportive community of women on the same journey, even if this right here is your community. To get the most from this week's episode, check out the show notes today where I'll put the links to Stronger 1 and Stronger 2. If you're listening right now, doors are open and there's a limited time, a very limited time where it's 50% off. When we open the doors first for early action takers who are planning ahead, that's your chance to get your foot in the door. You can still register later. We don't start until April 15th of 2019 for this current next session, but the rates will go up if you've missed the 50% off. You can, if you're coming to this post after doors close, you can still go to flipping50.com/get stronger or /get even stronger to be on the waiting list to get notified when we open the doors again. What are you waiting for? Let's start flipping 50 together.